Okay, we finally made it. Apple's releasing new iPads on May 7th at their next event, and today I want to tell you the final leaks and rumors for not only the completely revamped and redesigned iPad Pro, but also the updated iPad Air that is interesting in its own right. We also have some information on the new Apple Pencil and the updated Magic Keyboard as well, a bit later in the video. But first, let's start off with this new iPad Pro, because it has been 6 years since we last saw what Apple really envisioned the iPad Pro to be, and now it's time to do it again. And it sounds like the way it will be worth it. When you pick up one of these new iPad Pros, it is going to feel a lot different, as Apple is making them significantly thinner, down to about 5 millimeters thin, which is thinner than not only an iPod Touch, but also an older iPod Nano. If you remember those and how ridiculously thin they were, that is how thin these new iPad Pros are going to be. But the real surprise is going to be what happens when you turn on the display, is Apple is finally adding OLED to the iPad in what has now been described as the best OLED tablet panels in the industry. So for everybody that's been saying Samsung's done this for years, we've had this on tablets before, there's a reason that Apple has waited, and it sounds like they have basically perfected this OLED technology to finally be ready for them to show off. Because Apple could have done this years ago, but they didn't because they're Apple and they want to do it right. These OLED displays are not only getting a bit larger, up about 0.1 inches on both models, but also vivid and brighter than before. They're going to have true black levels where pixels actually shut off. The bezels around the edges of the screen are getting even thinner by just about 15%, which is not a huge difference, but is mocked up here by a basic Apple guy. It's a nice subtle change for this new redesign. And one display rumor even suggests that Apple could add a matte display option for the first time, which would be much more glare resistant and anti-reflective, similar to what Apple offers on their actual Studio and Pro Display XDR models. There is one more change though that Apple is making on the front of this iPad that I am more excited for than anything else, and that is them relocating the camera from the top here on the short side to the long side. So when you're actually holding the iPad in your hand on a longer video call, you will be centered like on a MacBook. A seemingly small change, but one of those quality of life things that is just finally happening. Flipping the iPad over and looking around the rest of the design, we've also heard rumors that MagSafe charging in some capacity could be coming to this iPad Pro, but we're not sure yet if it will be a wireless option through the glass Apple logo, similar to how it works on MagSafe for the iPhone, or if it is going to be an actual connector cable like MagSafe on a MacBook. And inside of this new iPad Pro, powering everything, was supposed to be an M3 chip. In fact, up until just moments before recording this video, that is the only rumor we heard about the chip, well, until now. Because some breaking news, the new iPad Pros for 2024 will actually be the very first Apple products with the M4 chip inside, which is absolutely wild because Apple has never introduced a flagship silicon chip in an iPad first, and we just got the M3 chips a few months ago around the end of October in 2023. So a change this quick and this fast is surprising, but it might make sense in regards to the announcement. Specifically, as Apple has some big plans for AI, and the main upgrade for the M4 chip is said to be a much improved neural engine, which is an existing component of all Apple silicon that they are beefing up to be even better for AI tasks. And that is interesting, as Apple and Tim Cook have really been teasing some big AI things. We're hearing that both iOS and iPadOS 18 are going to have some major new AI features. So basically preempting the software with some very extra capable hardware for AI. I see the 5D chess that Apple is playing, and now I'm actually kind of excited for the chip inside, where before I literally could have cared less. All that being said, I really think that the iPad Pro by itself as an individual product is only going to be like half of what Apple talks about the event. Because I think the other part is going to be the accessories. It's going to be the all new Magic Keyboard that Apple is redesigning and a new version of the Apple Pencil, both of which I am pretty intrigued by. Because starting off with the Magic Keyboard, Apple is said to be making this new iPad Pro feel more like a laptop than ever. They're going to be making a metal top case portion around the keyboard so it feels more like a MacBook, and they're also said to be increasing the size of the trackpad on here. Again, just like a MacBook. It will be a more usable Magic Keyboard experience than it is currently, and maybe we'll even get an escape key. You think so? You think we can do that too? The second accessory that Apple is updating is the new Apple Pencil. The Apple Pencil 3 is actually happening, and we have some information about the kind of features that Apple is bringing to it. First, there are going to be all new gestures, including a new squeeze gesture, which is leaked in some iPadOS software in a beta, where you can long squeeze or short squeeze to do different types of interactions. And you'll be notified of those interactions via haptic feedback, we've also learned, which is going to make the experience of drawing and using the pencil incredibly tactile, and I think as an artist, you should really get excited about this. The Apple Pencil 3 is also rumored to have Find My built in, so if you lose it in a bush behind you at Apple Park, you can actually find it. Pull out your phone, it's gonna be on the Find My network here, which is pretty sick. So a pretty massive update and overhaul for this iPad Pro, and one that we've been waiting for so long. Now, let's say you're not in the market for an iPad Pro, you also want an iPad Air. That is also happening at this event. And we're hearing that Apple is planning to make the largest change to the iPad Air line, well, in the iPad Air line's history. Because in addition to the standard 10.9-inch model, Apple is also introducing a 12.9-inch version of the iPad Air that will likely come in priced at under $1,000, which I think is going to be huge for like point of sale things for small businesses, huge if you don't want to spend a lot of money, and huge just in general. It's a 12.9-inch iPad. Now, this new iPad Air is not going to be as large of an update by any means as the iPad Pro, as it will still be Apple's mid-range offering, but there'll be some subtle design changes like a little tweaked camera bump on the back according to some CAD files, as well as a landscape camera. And for a second, we had some really great news for this model, that Apple would actually be adding a mini LED display to the 12.9-inch iPad Air, basically using the leftover panels from the iPad Pro. Moving it down to the mid-range made a lot of sense until we learned that's actually not happening. Just kidding. That rumor we heard wrong. In short, going to be the exact same screen tech and quality as the previous generation iPad Air. On the inside of the iPad Air, of course, there's going to be Apple Silicon, but is it going to be an M2 chip, or is Apple going to go to the M3? I mean, considering that now M4 is likely happening on the iPad Pro, I don't actually know if M2 or M3 will be the route that Apple goes. A faster chip could certainly make the new iPad Air more enticing, and I think the iPad Air would also be more enticing if it works with the new accessories like the updated Magic Keyboard and the Apple Pencil 3, although I'm curious if the sizes are slightly different on both the iPad Air and Pro new models. Would they be cross-compatible? Are there going to be specific Magic Keyboards now for certain iPad Airs and certain iPad Pros? Can't wait for this event, if you can't tell, and I'm incredibly excited, and it sounds like this event is going to be pretty focused, with a last-minute rumor saying that no other iPads, no other products in general will be coming out on May 7th. Apple is specifically focusing on the new iPad Air, the new iPad Pro, and their respective accessories. So everyone waiting on that new iPad mini, you're gonna have to wait a bit longer, it sounds like until the later part of this year. Apple is teasing this absolutely everywhere. The ads for this have been non-stop across socials, with Apple even saying it's a different type of event. What does that mean, Apple? Because you're getting me all excited. I don't know if I should be. All right, that's what I'm trying to say. So keep your eyes out for any last minute stuff. And hey, maybe if some other crazy info comes out, I'll be back with another last minute video. But I really appreciate you guys watching, and I cannot wait to see you on May 7th for this event. I am so ready for these new iPads. I am iPad deprived. Thank you guys for watching. I love you all so much, and I will see you in my next video. I've been Sam. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.